So I hope you're ready, because today is back day, and we're gonna go over some key tweaks to some movements that you probably already do that are gonna be absolute game changers for your back workouts. One thing I won't do is let you tell me that I can't be great. Who gonna stop me? Can't be great. Who gonna stop me now? So we're very fortunate to be back here at this beautiful facility in Warmup, New York, Core Performance. And we're gonna go over some great exercises that you can do at home or at the gym, hopefully one day if you ever get back there. And these are really gonna help you build a strong and solid back. While we're gonna be using some of the equipment in the gym today for this workout, every single thing that we're gonna be doing, you can modify pretty easily to either use a cable machine, a dumbbell, a barbell, or especially resistance bands, so that there's absolutely no excuse why you can't try any of this stuff from your home. I also think it's important to mention that these exercises are equally good for women to do as they are for men. We'll go through this topic in a later video in more detail, but you can do this if you're a woman and you're not gonna wake up looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Women do not have the testosterone levels that men have to support that kind of crazy muscle growth. If you ever see women on Instagram that do look like that, I almost guarantee you they're taking steroids. So don't let that old myth get in your way. You can try all these, you're gonna feel great, and you'll look great too. I know this should be obvious by now because we mention it in pretty much every video, but make sure you're healthy enough to start an exercise program or to continue with one. Don't do this if you're sick or if you have a bad injury or if you have any heart problems. If you feel any injury-like pain when you're exercising, stop immediately, especially if you have any kind of chest pain. Stop right away, seek medical attention. Very, very important to pay attention to that. Other than that, make sure you give a thumbs up to this video, click subscribe and the notifications bell, and feel free to drop a comment or a question below, as I'm happy to answer anything you want to know about. All right, so now that we're past that, it's time to check your ego at the door, and let's get started. So for today's warm-up, we're gonna do something called Superman shoulder reaches. It's something that we've actually done in one of our previous videos as part of a workout. Today we're doing it as a warm-up. I think it's great for that because it starts getting the muscles fired up. You can actually incorporate resistance bands if you really want to with this as well. You don't have to. I tend to do it just body weight, and that's good enough for me. You're gonna feel this in your rhomboids, in your traps, in your lats, especially the bottom half of the motion, and even the rear delts. Form's very simple. All you're really gonna do, you're gonna lay down prone. Prone means on your stomach, on a flat bench, on a floor, whatever. Arms are gonna be up above, straight ahead of you, like your Superman. That's the name of the exercise. And every single rep, you're gonna basically bring your arms backwards and down. You're also gonna arch your back, engage your lower back a little bit for that. And as you do this, when you're laying flat, you're gonna be engaging your rear delts, your rhomboids in the middle of your back, and also your traps to retract your shoulder and pull them backwards and down. And at the bottom, you can really squeeze it so you feel your lats engaging. This will really get things fired up, blood pumping through your back. Go for 2-3 sets of this, 12 to 15 reps per set, whatever you feel comfortable with, and then we'll move on, ready for the rest of the workout. So now that your back is nicely fired up and ready to go after that warm-up, we're gonna move on to the first real exercise, which is seated cable or resistance band lateral pull downs. Although we're gonna change the form a little bit on this to really focus on engaging the lats entirely. So the first tweak we're gonna make to this exercise to really focus on engaging only the lats and cutting out all the other ancillary muscles that are part of it usually, is instead of having your arms straight out or close to straight and bringing it down along your body, that really engages the rear delts, it engages the traps, rhomboids, etc. The way we're gonna change this, you're gonna now have a 90-degree bend in your elbow, driving the weight all the way down, okay? A nice linear motion with your elbow, as if the weight was sitting on your elbow, pushing it back, okay? So really the whole motion is happening in your shoulders, not letting your elbows move at all. So the second tweak we're gonna make to this motion is very simple. As you're bringing your arms up eccentrically, you're also going to lean a little bit forward, which is going to increase the range of motion and also add a little stretch to your lats at the top. And when you bring it down concentrically in a linear motion, you're going to lean backwards a little bit and driving your elbows back and down. That is going to put a little more emphasis on your lats and just really increase your range of motion with the exercise. So this next exercise is probably familiar to most people if you've been going to the gym for a while. It's called pullovers. The difference here is we're going to tweak this a little bit to really focus more on the lats and take the triceps out of it a little bit more. So you want to lie on any bench or flat surface that's elevated off the floor that is a firm surface. You're going to have your head a little bit off the edge. I'm using a barbell today for this. You don't have to use a barbell. You can actually use resistance bands. You can use a cable machine or dumbbells if you need to. If you're going to use resistance bands or cables, you can actually do this in a seated position where you have your back supported in a chair or a bench that's raised up. And you can do this exact same motion, replicate it with the resistance pulling from straight behind you, okay? And just replicate that motion that we're gonna do, but in a seated position. So the small change we're gonna make to this exercise is that we're gonna limit the range of motion, all right? We're gonna start from a stretched position where your arms are gonna basically be back behind you. You're gonna maintain about a 90-degree angle in your elbows the entire time. So you're gonna start all the way back behind you so your elbows are right next to your ears, and you're only gonna bring it up about 90 degrees. So your arms are gonna come out in front of your face. That is the motion. It's cutting out the rest of it that people usually go through the full range, because that's gonna chop out your triceps getting activated and taking the weight off of your lats. You will feel this will really fire up your lats. It's gonna kick in, I guarantee you. It's not easy. So don't go nuts with the weights. Get the form down first and start building on that before you jump the weights up on this. So you ever see these guys in the gym who are just screaming, yelling, grunting, grabbing weights that are way too heavy for them, doing dumbbell rows, or they're going to the row machine and they load the plates up and they're just launching this thing back, all right? And they look like they're getting a couple herniated discs as they're lifting the weights. Yeah, well, don't be that guy. That's called ego lifting. We want no part of that here, okay? We're focusing on form. So the next thing we're gonna do is rows, but we're gonna change this up again a little bit. I'm gonna add a little tweak that I guarantee is gonna totally change your whole workout. So you know in the previous couple exercises, we were isolating the lats. Well, this tweak is gonna actually do the opposite. It's gonna incorporate your rear delts, your traps, your rhomboids, and your lats, but it's gonna do it in a very interesting way. So unless you're that guy in the gym that we talked about, we should all know how to do rows properly by now. And the only difference we're gonna make here is we're gonna incorporate a secondary small movement in the beginning of the motion. You're gonna have your shoulders extended in front of you, and the first thing you're gonna do with your arms extended, you're gonna retract the shoulder, okay, on both sides. That's gonna engage your rhomboids, your traps, and your rear delts. After you've done that, drive your elbows back behind you and bring it back to the starting position and extend your shoulders forward again. That's really it. So there's several ways to perform this, and none of them are wrong. You can use resistance bands at home, you can use a cable machine, you can even use dumbbells, and there's all different ways to do each of them. So the nice thing about this motion is it really also focuses on retracting your scapula, which is something that I think is very important in a lot of different exercises that we're gonna go over in the future. So practice this exercise, try this at home, and let me know how you do. So I hope you enjoyed today's workout and learned some new little tweaks that you can incorporate into your back workout that'll really increase the effectiveness of the various exercises that you're doing. Make sure before you start any workout like this, do some dynamic warm-ups. At the end, do some static stretching, and feel free to use a foam roller. I personally do it every single day, before, after workout, and even throughout the day. There's a brand that I personally love. I think it's called Nextrino, but I'll leave a link in a future video. I'm not compensated by them. I just love the brand. But feel free to buy whatever brand, whatever type of foam roller you want. They come in all shapes, sizes, and price points. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, click that notifications bell, and drop a comment below with any questions or comments you have, and please share with other people. We've got so much more great content coming soon, filming multiple times a week, and I look forward to seeing all of you there. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great day. So for the warm-up today, we're gonna do something that we covered in a few, All right, midnight, I'm going home, eat dinner, and go to sleep. Long day.